add it back. Okay. We are live, my friend.
Okay. All right. So welcome everybody. Doing some new tech this week and excited about it. That's how we grow. It's how we learn. That's what being an entrepreneur is all about. And at Founders Fire, that's what we want to do, is to rekindle and get into furnace level, that flame in your heart for what you're doing. Today on this edition of Bulletproof Your Business, we are going to be talking about pricing. Pricing is key for a lot of reasons, but here's some things you didn't know about pricing. Did you know that pricing is actually marketing? If you think about it, pricing is letting your customers know what you think what you're doing is actually worth. Now we think about, we've got to price it so the customer will want it. That's an interesting approach and it certainly makes sense, but ultimately we're telling people what we think it's worth. And if we're the people on the inside building it, servicing it, doing all the things that make it valuable, and we don't think it's very valuable, then there's a problem. So I'm going to cut totally against conventional wisdom here. So hold on to your hats for this. First idea looks like this. Can I do discounts? Are discounts good? Okay. Now, people will say doing a discount is a great strategy because something that somebody wanted, let's say it was $100, is now $85. And so that's going to drive sales. Well, it is going to drive sales at $85, but it also does some problems in the market. First, for example, why is what you said was worth $100? Why is that thing you said was worth $100? Why is it not worth that? So maybe it isn't worth that. So maybe I'll just wait for a sale because I know you don't think it's worth that. In other words, why would you be doing a sale? Here's another problem. When someone says, hey, we're going to lower the price on this particular product or service, and it's going to drive, more revenue. It could, but what's it going to do to your margin? Okay. How healthy is this thinking to say, wow, there's a product that's usually $10,000 and now they're giving it away for only $1,500. What a deal. Is that a deal? Or what does it make your customers actually think about you? A, you don't know how to price. B, it's overpriced. C, you must have some ridiculous margin so that you can drop the price that much. Now, I know we've all seen the late night TV show commercials. Well, this is back in the day. I don't watch TV anymore, so I don't know if they're still on. But do we know about these commercials that say, liquidate everything? Everything must go. And they're slashing prices by 90% or some crazy thing like that. Yeah, if it's a fire sale and you're going out of business, then it probably makes sense to advertise that you're going out of business and here's some great products that people already know and love. But that's business suicide. I mean, that's the end of your business. And that's no way to build long-term relationships. Remember, the key to building value in business is the relationship. Do they trust you? Will you be there for them? Can they count on you? Do you do what you say you're going to do? All of this goes into pricing because when we say to someone, this is our price, we're saying a lot more than just the dollar amount. And if we're pandering, saying, well, I hope it's a price that they really like, and I hope that that's okay, not a good place to be in. You look weak instead of like a leader. You look like you're chasing money instead of driving value. And now what we're doing really is business and what I would call the kind of industrial age wage slave thinking model, the Pharaoh model, that slavery model where everything is always scarce and we're always chasing everything. I'm going to do some more unconventional thinking here. I don't really agree with Adam Smith. I don't. Not on everything, but on this point, that it's scarcity that drives value. The lack of something makes it valuable. That's such a terrible idea. And I know in some cases that's true. You can say if there's not much water and people need water, they're going to die, that water becomes very valuable. I understand that on the surface. But what we've got to recognize is that while there are tactical truths, they create strategic negative strongholds. It's a small truth, But when it scales, it creates a huge problem. Scaling the idea of scarcity is a huge problem. And everyone, out there will tell you that's how you market. You have to create a sense of urgency. You have to create scarcity. You have to create what? What's the word that is all of that stuff? It's fear. You have to create fear. And I think you don't. I think that people are sick of that. People don't trust advertising. A lot of advertising, frankly, doesn't work. I don't want to drive scarcity. I want to drive value. I want to give people a reason to do it now, for sure. But that's not because of a false, idea of like sale ends on Friday. Well, why does the sale end on Friday? Because that's 3 days from now, and we wanted to, get you scared so you'd buy something because we're interested in what? Money, not value. If I'm interested in creating value, then I've got to focus on establishing that value in the mind of the customer. And that's what everybody says that's thinking in this kind of strategic way, is that you have to establish value before you establish price. If you've done it correctly, people will say, I bet that costs $100. And then when you say it costs $37, they're like, what? That's awesome. I can't wait to get that. So the urgency has been replaced by excitement. The scarcity has been replaced by incredible value. Like in my mind, that is totally worth $100, and they're selling it for 37. That is the key to pricing strategy. It's creating so much value for a price that gets people really excited. And then you don't have to do all the weird little tricks that are just subversive at some level. Manipulative is probably the right word. Sale ends by Friday, act now, all that kind of stuff. Now, are there times where it is appropriate to talk about scarcity? Absolutely. When you have a legit capacity issue. At Founders Fire, we have often this limiting factor, which is how many coaches do we have available at any one time? And so that's a legit constraint. And so if we say, hey, sign up, we have 3 slots available in this upcoming cohort, then that means we have 3 slots available and the other ones are full. It's not make-believe, it's true. And the reason we want to say it that way is we don't want someone to sign up and have to wait for their cohort to start. We want to be able to start right away. So how do we factor that into marketing? By explaining and creating a real understanding of what the situation is. So again, it's not like sale ends by Friday. The other thing to know about pricing is that it matters what's around pricing. So pricing can be what we would look at as low, middle, high. You can do pricing like that, where the low is cheap, but you don't get a lot. The high is really expensive and you get a ton. And the middle is maybe that sweet spot, the Goldilocks zone. Some people will do pricing strategy where they really don't want to move a lot of the low or the medium. They want to get the folks up to that top tier. Ultimately, what we're looking at is building a relationship. And sometimes it's not a low, middle, high choice. It's a funnel choice, meaning there's a first purchase that leads to a second purchase that leads to a third purchase. So my first purchase might be I have this HVAC company come out to my house to fix something, and they do. And it's a one-time cost, and let's say it's a relatively small ticket. Okay. Well, they may reach back out to me and say, hey, that thing we fixed needs to be checked every so often. And we have a service package. And here's what that service package includes. And there's a discount on any service calls. That might be another step down the funnel. And so pricing makes sense when you look at models like that. Last one I'm going to mention for today, we could go on for an hour, but really quick, is the membership model. And this is the idea of if you buy it and you're not a member, it's at a premium price. But if you buy it and you are a member, it's at a discounted price. So the price itself is about understanding what's the value. And if you're going to come back to this company over and over and over and be a member, we're going to lower the cost because you're giving us value. You're not just paying us in terms of money, you're paying us in terms of loyalty. Thinking in these terms is the right way to think about pricing and your pricing strategy. At Founders Fire, obviously, that's what we do. We go long and deep into every one of these areas. If you're interested, come on over, hit our website, foundersfire.com, and we'll see you guys next week on Bulletproof Your Business. See you guys. Thanks.
What is the one thing all small business owners want to know? Why is it that what I'm doing isn't working? You see, when you build systems the right way, they work with each other. That's what Founders Fire is all about. We have helped thousands of business owners just like you from the situation you're in to get you real results in real time with a system that we've built that's going to change how your business runs. We're going to help you figure out exactly where you are on that roadmap, and we're going to give you a systematic approach over the next 12 months to fully organize, systemize, and align your business with your vision. This is about you, this is about your calling, and this is about right now. More free time, more impact, changing people's lives. That's what Founders Fire is about, to help you find the freedom and to make the difference that you have it in yourself to make.